Ladies and gentlemen, if you feel like you should be in church right now, I understand because the Booyah Boss is doing big things on this one. My God is good. Good morning to you, Asa Banton, one and only. How you doing?
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning to all the listeners of DBS Radio. Good morning to you, Monel. Good morning to the Ministry of Tourism. Good morning to the entire Caribbean and good morning to the world. I'm doing good.
Okay, wonderful. Now, you asked me to ensure that I start with this song this morning. Why was that important to you?
Because God is good. And anytime I come on an interview, that's the song I want them to start. Matter of fact, I'm actually going to start that. Any performance that I'm going to be doing from now until I want to start with that song as my intro, because God is good and God is really good all the time. And I believe that I'm here for a purpose. So, you had to start it. Let's start our day with praise. Let's end our day with praise.
All right, awesome. By the way, I got to tell you, congratulations on a successful Breakfast Fest 2025, the 9th annual. Big question, how you feeling?
I still busy, It didn't finish yet. I just had to take an hour from my day just to come and, only you that could get me to do that. I'm busy.
Thank you.
I'm really busy because, one thing with those big events like that, you have work before, during, and after. So now everybody home who's sleeping, who resting, who go back to work. But I still got to work, I got to make sure all the entertainers get paid, the system get paid, the drinks company get their money, the artists reach back home safely, so it's like it's a lot of work still, a lot of work to be done. All the transportations to make sure the trucks get back the barricades back to its rightful positions, the tents, the ice coolers. Let me tell you, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but I'm on top of it. You understand?
Yeah. Okay, awesome. So this year's event was especially emotional with the tribute to Sherwin Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Can you share what that tribute meant to you personally and how the Grand Bay community responded to it?
I mean, that tribute meant a lot to me. It was a great send-off for him, seeing that he was part of our Breakfast Fest, marketing team. And his last name, last name was a color, which was Brown. So everything fell in place very well, and Grand Bay people truly appreciated it. They support the vibes, and Sherwin really get a good one. So sometimes, even though the person gone, you have to carry the person name so people could remember what that person meant to us, Yeah.
And his family, how did they respond to that?
Oh,
the treatment?
Wonderful, wonderful. Big up to his mother, Kiba Johnson. She supported the vibes from day one, and she as well has always been part of our Breakfast Fest, vibes and so on. So she herself was very grateful for that, very appreciative, and she actually worked the entire Breakfast Fest weekend, to make sure that people remember Sherwin Brown.
Good. So walk us through some of your favorite moments from the 4 days of the Breakfast Fest activities. So we're going to start a day-by-day event. I know you had a 4-day event, mega. So
I would say 5 now.
5?
The first day was included.
Thursday?
But there are a couple other, fringe events, but that happened during the Breakfast Fest, so we can clap it together.
Okay, so we're doing 5. So walk us through 5 events and your favorite moment from each event. Let's go.
I don't know if I have a favorite moment, but let's start. Yeah. But first, so we started on first day where you had it's like a welcoming to Grand Bay kind of a vibes at Paula's Cuisine Queen Bee. She usually does the first day, which was the first event, and it was a real great event. The people came out, they had drinks, they had great food, it was a nice vibes and so on the first day. And then the Friday...
Favorite memory from the Thursday at
the
Paula's?
Favorite, okay, so I passed at Paula, got my food, and then I left because we was at the main venue organizing. So my favorite moment was getting my food. Goat water.
Okay.
I got goat water. That was my favorite moment there.
Okay.
And then seeing what happened on status, so those were my favorite moments. It was nice.
Okay, good.
And then Friday now, which was the lighting parade. Now Friday is the official opening of the Breakfast Fest weekend. It's the official opening, but the first day, the people that come before, we give them like a welcome.
Yes.
But Friday was the opening of the Breakfast Fest weekend. We had the lighting parade from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. in the morning, and we had Triple K Band and Ace Banton on the streets of Lally. With all these glow sticks and all these lights, and I had my horn with lights, my shoes with lights. So it was just all about lights and the opening, welcoming all these foreigners into the beautiful community of Granby. My favorite moment of that was when me and Triple K, when Kendall Laura from Triple K punch a new rhythm, and I actually chant something new, and me and Benji really had the vibes going on during that entire time. All right, so that was my favorite moment.
Nice. Then next day.
And so then from 1 a.m. to 7 a.m. in the morning, 1 a.m. to 7 a.m. in the morning, we had the breakfast fete, the pre-breakfast fete party. That happened at Highland Granby at Samuel's Bar. And let me tell you, thousands of people on the streets. There was no space. Again, I had to organize for the main event. So what happened? I went there, I stood and looked at the crowd, and I said, I'm not going for that. I'm going back to organizing for the main event. That was my favorite moment. Just standing. Sometimes you have to stand and just look.
Watch and be in awe, right?
Just stand and look and say, wow, look at people making money. And then I went back. That was my favorite moment there.
Good. And
then we have the Saturday, which is now the main event, the breakfast fete, the 9th annual Summer Daybreak Breakfast Fete, in our new venue, which was a really a great experience for everybody. Everybody, that was our first time experiencing something like that, moving out of our original venue. That's like when you move out from your mother's house.
Yeah.
You understand? So my favorite moment, I have so many favorite moments that night into that daybreak. I mean, Mr. Keeler jumping on the boat. I mean, there were so many things. All these French artists, came in one after the other. I mean, all the powder and the water, the craziness, the views, the dry zone, seeing New York and Paris VIP going at it. Which one had the most energy? All these local artists came and performed, and they did a wonderful job. I mean, I had so many favorite moments on that night.
Good. Next event.
And then we had the Sunday, we had the breakfast at Cool Off at GX Backstreet Line Bar, which was another great event again, because after the breakfast fete, when people sleep, when they get up, they look for something to eat, they look for some form of entertainment, because there's so many foreigners here, and the place was nice. Again, I came, I saw, I conquered, and I left. That was my favorite moment. Seeing all these French people, not getting a lot of sleep, and they really came to party, and they came out and they support every single event. And then we went to Monday, which we had the Island Tour. The Island Tour was, a lot of people on the Island Tour, and I have a lot of favorite moments on the Island Tour. With all our sponsors, like how KFC came in and make sure everybody get food in time. Party Shack, make sure everybody get their parties in time. And when the tour stops at Point Michelle, the madness and all the bars in Hollywood making money, and the excitement and the people having a great time on the street. And then in Soufriere, the same thing. A lot of people on the streets of Soufriere. All the bars made money, and then Scott Z, same thing. All the bars made money. That was my favorite moment. Seeing all these bars and shops and restaurants making money. And then we went to the last fete, which is the closing ceremony, which is the Island Tour Wet Fete, where we end the Island Tour with a wet fete on the streets of Lally. And Asa Banton closing his event, his Breakfast Fest weekend, with fireworks. That was my favorite moment. And my overall favorite moment would be everybody, all the bars and so many communities and Dominica on a whole benefited and made money. So that's my whole favorite moment.
Actually, Shibit, on this one, congratulations, Asa. I love the fact that you present a product that does not just serve you and your community, but the wider community at large. So the taxi operators, the restaurant hoteliers, the craftsmen, the people that works at the pharmacy themselves, everybody makes something.
The saloons, everybody making money.
Kudos to you, job well done.
Yeah, man. A lot of money circulated into the economy. If I have to do a rough math, over $6 million. Over $6 million for sure. All the Airbnbs, Granby, we couldn't even find places to put people. A lot of people in those days, they stayed Point Michelle, Loubier, Fort Young was filled, some of my artists on them, they was at Ocean Edge. Everywhere had people. Goodwill, Kinfield, as far as St. Joe, Maho, we had people, a group from St. Martin's, then all the way at Jimit. There's so many people, and now, and where the country actually benefiting the most is from yesterday.
What happened yesterday?
People starting to leave. They have to pay their departure taxes. So we have thousands of people leaving the island and they have to pay their departure tax. So, everybody's benefiting. The entire country is benefiting. There's one guy that told me it's like in 2-3 days, he spent over $2,000. Because he buying a lot of food. He have to eat. He drink water. It's just.
And he felt good about spending for the event. Yes.
Yes. Say that again.
He felt good about spending because some people, when they spend money, they're not happy that they're spending.
Okay.
In his case, he was happy that he could have contributed and had the full experience.
Yes. Everybody happy because that's what they came for. Mm-hmm. They actually came to fete and enjoy themselves, spend money, and some people still take the time out in between the fetes to go on different tours, and so on, run up Trafalgar, and so on, and see couple sites, and that is what the island tour actually does. It is not just party, but you discover Dominica. So that is where Discover Dominica come in. You understand?
And we're happy to sponsor.
Yes, so Discover Dominica. Discover Dominica. We have to say big up to let me start by saying big up to a special thanks to the Ministry of Tourism, Honorable Dennis Charles, and our wonderful, amazing PS Lisa Valmont. And the Ministry of Tourism, for the past couple of years, they have been giving me that support for the island tour, because island tour, we bring the people to the different sites and have them discovering Dominica and enjoying the sites, and the vendors on the sites can make some money too as well. Because I always say it's not about just partying, because a lot of people come to party and what they would do after the party, the following day, they leave.
Yes.
Now they have that day to see our natural sites, see how beautiful our island is, take out pictures, show their friends, tag their friends, tag people, and let people say, what? I want to come to Dominica next year. I got to do that. Because now it's like they're getting free taxi ride, free bus services, and they could drink, they don't have to drive, and they just experience our island. And then to Discover Dominica, DDA and DFC, this year for sure, they was on board with me, and I want to say a special thanks and big up to Marva Williams, the CEO of DDA. She did a wonderful job. Every moment that she get a little time off, she would come to the venue, because I've never done an event of that size. I have my original location, which I love my location, but I needed somebody to be by my side and encourage me to keep going, because I would maybe stop, and go back in my original venue, because there's a lot of work in venues like this, and we've discovered Dominic and DFC. You know, you guys have the experience in hosting World Creole Music Festival and jazz festival,
Large
and
events,
you know,
yeah.
large events and of that magnitude. And then you have so Marva Williams. You know, she would come on the ground, you know, give me some advice, a little counseling. You know what I'm saying? And then we work together really well, and then the support that they put behind us, you know, even with our backstage, I want to big up people like Marilyn and Ogeli was here too,
yeah.
and CeeLo. You know, these people, they came in the back and make sure our
The
artists,
hospitality was on
yeah,
point.
the hospitality was on point with
Good.
that crew. So big up to DDA, big up to the Ministry of Tourism. You know, one Dominica, and so we're doing it.
So I know you did not do this by yourself. You had a team. Tell me about your team and their dynamic.
Oh yes, I have a wonderful team. You know, this is the 9th annual just passed, so we have been doing this for 9 years. And my team is very small. My team is less than 10 people. I have less than 10 people in my team, but they are very, very effective. And I could not do it without them. My team, less than 10 people, but they are very effective. And first I want to big up my sister, you know, Talifa Edwards. You know, Talo is a boss. You know, Talo, round of applause, man. Talo is a boss, you know, and Talo, you know, she works on the cruise ships. So sometimes, and she had to leave to come home to
help her brother.
ensure
Yes.
her brother executed properly. And then I have my other brother, which is Wayne Baker. You know, did a wonderful job, you know, in charge of the security of the venue and the production on the ground, and to make sure all our everything we need is on site. You know, like the barriers and the coolers, the matins that we got from DDA, and those things at the venue. Then we have Marlon Dawe, you know, big up Marlon, you know, another friend of mine again, come from Miami. Make sure all our stuff that have to come from Miami get to Dominica in time, and then on the ground, he's the logistics guy. He's the one making sure everything on point and so on. And then we have Waiter, you know, another great guy again, and Tasha and Troy. But the team is very small. And Shadow, big up my boy Shadow Jeremy, you know, is another one again in charge of my water, the logistic stuffs that the venue needs in terms for the wet fed and so on. And then we have the other outside team like Itai and them that make sure everything is in place. So, I mean, my team is small, but
Effective.
very, very effective.
Then kudos to your team for a job well done.
Yes.
Well done, well done. So let's talk the number of attendees this year. What were your numbers like this year in comparison to last year? Do you have any stats?
I haven't checked that as yet, but I know we're over 5,000 people for sure. You know, I haven't checked that, but I will. That information, I'll get it this week, because when the Fed finish, all we're concerned about is clearing up bills. That's one thing you never hear about Breakfast Fed owing nobody. Breakfast Fed always. That's why people love to work for Breakfast Fed. We having too much workers. We having too many workers. People keep calling to work. We cannot even hire everybody because people love to work, you know. So that's one of our main things. Make sure our policemen get paid ASAP. Make sure our security team get paid. All the drinks company get the money. Our artists, you know, we had artists from Guadeloupe, a lot of artists from Guadeloupe, and we had a lot of entertainers from St. Martin and so on. So that's the focus right now. But the numbers, I know we had over 5,000 patrons, but that number will get it to you. And I know the minister herself, I know the PS, they love numbers.
Yeah, we love numbers.
The people from DDA, they will be making that general check. That general check. Okay?
Definitely. And tell me, what was the feedback like from the people who would have attended Breakfast Fest? I know I saw a lot of videos, I saw a lot of comments. In fact, I saw some people who were just flat out on the floor, you know, knocked out. Polo was there, and then Polo was knocked out at some point. But what was the feedback like from the attendees of this year's festival?
Well, you see, and that's a good question. I mean, Breakfast Fest is a fete where everybody enjoyed itself. It's all about the vibes. So right now, I gathering that information. I looking at the reviews to see, and that's a discussion that I want to have. about the venue, because some people love their
The
original
yeah.
venue, and now we have a lot of people that love this new venue as well. Some people say the dry zone was a little too far, but they ask for space to give them space.
No,
No,
it's too much space.
so it's too much space. So we're gonna watch the little, but I love both venues now. With the original venue, as I say, it's in the heart of the community. So you have, in terms of the revenue stream, it's like our food court is the community. But this venue now, it's different, where the vendors had to come outside and resettle themselves. But then when it comes to space and so on,
And your event is growing, so you
we
need
had
to
space.
remain at the playing field.
And what's gonna happen every year, the event grows, and now I know next year gonna be bigger, because this year was bigger than last year, and last year was bigger than the year before.
Mhm.
So that is what we're looking at right now.
Okay, let's switch and talk about your teddy bear, Miss Brownie. Where did the idea come from, and how did you incorporate Brownie in all your promotions?
I mean, Asa Banton is a how can I say it? A very creative person when it comes to marketing. I'm very creative at that, original. And every year I do something different. But Rapunzel and these people, they are still here.
Yeah.
But this year I just had to just move on to something new. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if you remember last year, there was a banana that grew over my
Banana
wall.
tree, yeah, plant.
And I used that to actually promote my event. And Monel, believe it or not, but I'll show it to you today. I've got to put out a video. That this year, the same thing happened. The banana came back right over the wall.
So it's yours.
That happened last year. But what I'm saying is, like, 1 year later, the same thing happened.
Yes.
Is that a coincidence? Or I don't know.
Could be, but what is yours? Is maybe feed the people, feed yourself. Oh, you did a good job. That's your gift. That's it.
So this year I decide I got to find myself a partner, and Brownie was just the right person for me.
So you walked in a store, saw a teddy bear, and was like, yeah.
Yeah, so I already had the
that's
idea. I already had the idea, and I was in Walmart, shopping for the Fed, and I'm pushing my trolley down an aisle, and I look up and I see this huge teddy bear sit down there looking so sad and just looking at me, and that was the only teddy bear sitting down there, and I'm like, but why is this teddy bear sitting there by itself, and it's all in brown, and the color is brown, and I'm like,
Brown,
why
brown.
it's looking at me? And I say, if I take this teddy bear and start to really walk around with it's gonna become a trend.
Yeah.
because and to be honest, when I start walking with it, I start falling in love with it. There are times I would travel and leave Brownie home, and I would literally miss Brownie. I would call and ask, where's Brownie? You guys change Brownie clothes? Make sure Brownie good and things. So and everybody fall in love with Brownie the same way I fell in love with Brownie. Imagine Brownie was on the tour, and Brownie was at the wet fed, and Brownie was at breakfast fed. But I didn't bring Brownie out of the vehicle on the tour, because so many people gonna want to stop and touch Brownie and want to take out pictures of Brownie, and then I'm working and I have things to do and I cannot stop all that time.
You needed a sitter.
Yes. So that's what happened. But I love my Brownie.
And what was the response like from people, the public, general public?
In terms of
You and Brownie, and using Brownie as a marketing tool.
I mean, all my sponsors took full advantage of that, which was good. Brownie actually brought a lot of attention to these businesses. There was a place where I brought Brownie for food in Maho at Crams, and within less than 24 hours, the video had over 200,000 views. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And people would ask, where is this? Where that place where Brownie went for food, and Brownie was at Fort Young, getting a massage.
I saw the bikini.
And so many people was when they saw Brownie by the pool with the bikini. So many people ring out Fort Young phone, calling Fort Young like crazy, asking for day pass and so on. They thought Brownie was on a day pass, but Brownie was on a staycation. I'm serious. And then Brownie was at KFC. Brownie was at KFC and advertising the big box. Brownie went to Belfast, to a Piton, Party Shack. Brownie went to everywhere. At Flow, Brownie got her plan. Brownie got everything. So Brownie literally brought attention to all his businesses. And Brownie met the Minister of Tourism, where she gave Brownie some advice and so on. How to how to rock her hair and look good.
I was about to plug that in because I noted that Brownie got hair after visiting my Minister for Tourism.
Mm-hmm.
How did that happen? Did you sew it in?
Oh, Brownie, you sewed in. Brown is a real person, So I go out just put a hair on Brownie. You crazy? If Brownie end up in a fight and somebody pull Brownie hair now, you have to sew it in. Brownie hair was well sewed. Yes, and that happened at Auto Trade. Brownie went visit Auto Trade because Brownie wanted a Nissan Frontier. She was checking out the prices, and then those girls at Auto Trade decide to sew in Brownie hair, and they did a wonderful job at that because Brownie hair is still strong and still going.
All right, awesome. I also noted the use of Polo as part of a marketing tool, and maybe not just marketing tool, but I know that you have a soft spot for Polo, and then he's very entertaining. Let's talk a bit on Polo.
So I'm just going to correct you on that. Polo wasn't used as no marketing tool. Polo's just asking for things and we give it to him and it will go viral.
Then I stand corrected.
So
apologies.
So Brownie was the marketing girl, but Polo is the one. He would, if every time Polo would, how many videos of Polo I have that I don't even post because Polo would stop anybody on the street and tell them if they have my number or whatever, and then because he say at a certain time he had end up lose his phone or whatever, he would just send videos to me asking for this, asking for that. He need this, he need that. Brung this, brung that, brung. You know what I'm saying?
You're the godfather.
So whenever he end up getting a chance, he talk about those things. But everybody likes Polo, and they like how Polo maybe speaks, and sometimes Polo can be demanding as well. So those are the things. So sometimes I just want the people to see what I have to go through with these guys. He would ask me to get something and then he would tell me to bring it now, and I'm waiting wherever for you now. I'm like, true. So you're gonna wait till 8 o'clock because I'm not coming.
I'm not coming now.
But Asa Banton is a giving person. We have our programs, helping the less fortunate and so on. And I will always help, And
it's a wonderful initiative.
Yes, and
I love how impactful you are.
Oh, yes, definitely. And making less fortunate people or the people that don't have much feel happy and feel how we feel. I feel good, and that's the number one thing on my agenda. So Polo is a beneficiary of that.
Okay, let's switch and talk about you as an artist, Asa Banton. You've been called the Booyah Boss. What's the secret to keeping your music and brand fresh year after year?
On stage and off stage.
Let's go.
On stage and off stage. So, you always have to reinvent yourself, create something new. And where you are strong at, you keep doing what the people love you for. And then off stage, Asa Banton is not just an artist on stage. That's why I say to be the Booyah Boss, you have to be great on stage and off stage. So, helping the people that support you, be there for your people, come up with creative ideas that your fans can participate in, and that can go out there and help other people and make them great. Give people the opportunities. Like, Asa Banton is one of the artists from day one. I'm not a producer and I'm not a rhythm guy. So I don't make rhythm and I don't produce artists in terms of recording at the studio, but I will give most of the artists the opportunity on a big stage like the Breakfast Fed stage, and they get paid as well, so everybody getting an opportunity where we give them that strength and push them outside there. So, as I say, creating stuffs to help the people around you and the people and the people of your community and Dominica by extension. So that's what makes Asa Banton different.
Okay, wonderful. And how do events like Breakfast Fete help strengthen Dominica's music scene and give local artists more exposure? And before you answer that, kudos to you for bringing on lots of local talent on your platform.
Oh yes, definitely. I mean, from day one, from time we start our Breakfast Fete and our Wet Fetes and so on, we have always been bringing a lot of local artists. We have always been making local artists our priority on our main stages. And what Breakfast Fed have done, it has gave a lot of artists chances to get to the World Creole Music Festival, because I realize a lot of artists who have passed on the Breakfast Fed stage, depends how they perform and how hot they are. Creole Music Festival then pull those artists, because plenty of my artists and them now I seen them on festival, and it's because of Breakfast Fed, because Breakfast Fed is where some of the people who do the selections saw those artists, because they don't even know them, because they would come to me and ask me, who's this guy, where he from, and he's good, and then this guy make it to their stage. So I always tell them, take Breakfast Fed serious, because the world is watching. Anything happen at Breakfast Fed, it goes international.
Agreed. So let's talk a bit more on Breakfast Fete. I know there were challenges for you for this production. I know you would have mentioned the venue was a little bit challenging, but let's talk about other challenges you face and how you overcome the challenges. I think a lot of people will benefit from your experience.
My main challenges was, as I said, the venue. It's a bigger venue, bigger space. You have to bring in the logistics and know how you're cutting it off, and the area of the field that I used was, I'm a sportsman as well, so I have to make sure that we don't damage the field after Breakfast Fete. So we have to make sure we use a small part of it and use more of the parking lot. Then dry zone, in the original venue, they usually up on a hill. So I have to make sure that we keep that same experience. If you put dry zone on the ground, that's why if they keep complaining, I'm gonna put them down, because they are one of those zones that, in making decisions, you have to make sure that they're comfortable as well. So that was one of the challenges, and especially the food court. I've never been dealing with food court, because, as I said, the streets of Lali was the food court. And now I have to have a food court dealing with vendors, my main logistics guys, and and my handyman. They were the one assisting the people in the food court, where I would be using them to deal with other stuff. They had to deal with the food court, so all that was very challenging. Now I have to use more trucks to go to Roseau to bring in the mats that you guys put on the ground during the festival. We have to bring in truckloads of that, more barriers. Those were the real challenges. Dealing with the backstage, because now I have the biggest space. I have to get the drinks, the this, and that's where DDA and DFC came in, with Marva Williams. As I say, big up yourself, Marva. She didn't came in the capacity of a CEO. She came in as a friend, and she came in as a Granbarian, and all hands on deck. And then, we get it done, because there was a lot of things, like with the food court, you had to get sinks and so on. And then Marva would be, telling me that over and over, we gotta get that. Make sure you don't forget. Motherfucker, I'm gonna call my people to get that, and then we'll deal with it. And so she was right there doing that. So those challenges, I had my people helping me overcome it.
Okay, so what's next for Asa Banton? I know later in the year we're gonna see you on the big stage, World Creole Music Festival.
What night I performing again?
I don't remember.
But it there every I can't remember which night.
You closing the show?
No, what night? Friday or
think-
Sunday?
Sunday, I think.
So,
I think so. Or Saturday. Or Friday. Better just have you whole
anyway,
weekend.
get all the tickets. I come in. The question is, what is Banton is gonna do this year?
Yes, let's
So
talk
let's
about
go
that
step.
entrance. Let's talk about that entrance. Every year, very spectacular. You came from a zip line once from the top of the stands. You came at ambulance last year. One year, I recall
That's
you were
why I
on a
need-
horse.
That's
You
why I
were
need
the-
more
a
money.
hearse.
You don't say I need more money. A man that come on a zip line that's supposed to get more money because no artist don't going up there and do that.
Nobody's that risky.
Yes, sir.
That's risky. Not risky.
You know, and I did that a year that one of the biggest artists was coming to Dominica, and the anticipation and excitement was so high, and that person didn't came. That the Burna Boy did not came purposely, and then I had to save that night.
And you always save the knot.
Okay.
But I will say, the public, we look forward to seeing what Asa Banton does. Your entrance.
Yes.
We wait for the entrance of Asa
As I
Banton.
always tell them, expect the unexpected because anything can happen when Asa Banton performs.
So is the helicopter going to drop you down this time? Are you going to come from the bottom of the stage? You know, are you going to be crowd surfing on the stage this year?
Anything can happen. Expect the unexpected. Anything can happen. Anything.
yeah.
You understand, Monel? Anything. I don't even know yet what's going to happen, but I just know something will happen.
Okay, so let's continue talking, looking ahead. What are the collaborations, tours, projects are in the pipeline?
I mean, I'm very, very busy, to be honest. Actually, this weekend I'm out. Actually booked two places at the same time and I have to choose one. So, but that happened by, my agents had a little, so I'm booking France, in Toulouse, in France,
Nice.
and I'm booking Marie Galant.
Ah.
So right now I'm making the decision where I'm going, but both promoters want me, so I have to choose. So all that already blowing up my mind, and then the following week, we have Labor Day coming, so we'll be heading up to the States. Then I heading to Paris again for the Caricura One Love Festival. Then I have so many other events that my mind not even clicking right now. And then you have we have Miami Carnival, St. Thomas. I have a couple events St. Thomas, and then getting ready for the World Creole Music Festival, Uber Soca Cruise. So there's a lot of things happening. Asa Banton, very, very busy. Very busy. And new music, I'm in studio. I'm working on collabs with different artists. So a lot of things is happening, Monel. And I just going with the flow right now.
You make us proud, Asa. I will confess, you make Dominicans very proud. It's good to see you being so successful, and you don't keep the success to yourself. You share it.
Yes, definitely.
So there are lots of people who learn from you. You do initiatives that support your community directly and also the wider community, Dominica on a whole. So good job.
Yes, thank you. And I just want to say thank you to my entire team. Marlon Dowie, Talifa, Baker, Waiter, Troy, Tasha, Shadow, Itai, everybody, the entire team, all those that supported us, Samu, Samanfa, and everybody that, that thing, all my sponsors, Belfast Estate, KFC Do It Center, Fine Food Fortune Hotel, Ministry of Tourism, DDA, the whole team, everybody, Sheppy Fun Tour, because the tour is another one that you have to put in a lot of work. So on the big of Sheppy, bringing in giving these people that experience, and wow, even the bus drivers, the money that the bus drivers made on the tour, there's no way they're gonna make that on a Monday. Tell them make it next Monday. And tell them make it the Monday. August Monday that passed, they could not even make it. So on a Monday, so everybody making money, the bus drivers, everybody happy. So big up, and I just tell the bus drivers, big up themselves. We had a safe event, no accident, nothing. So and even for the entire Breakfast Fest weekend, we had a violence-free weekend.
Okay, great. Our time is up, but if you could just sum up Breakfast Fete in 3 words, what would they be? 3 words. Dum, dum, dum.
Bigger, better, and
So bigger, better, and
yeah, I think, yeah. Yes, just Breakfast Fete, is the most exciting fete for the summer, the most anticipated fete for the summer. And this year, we had a lot of people from Matnik as well. The boat came. To big up Express, big up Express, because Express was they put in some extra boats for the Breakfast Fete. So big up everybody that was part of the Breakfast Fete. You don't know the People's Fete.
All right, so definitely our God is an awesome God, and saying thank you very much to Asa Banton for joining us on this Talking Tourism program right here on DBS Radio. Remember, we're here every Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Now, if you're in Dominica for the first time, welcome to Nature Island, Dominica, my favorite place on earth. And if you're here, while you're here, remember, respect yourself, respect the environment, and respect our people, and ensure that you have a fantastic time. And until next Wednesday, do me a favor, stay happy, because your happiness is important. Take care.